I'm kind of excited to see where the Packers lay out this year, but in other names of games, I actually have a pretty interesting thought for you to chew on because I
Okay,
know you are new to the whole PC gaming, but you have been gaming for
I am,
quite some time.
of
So
course.
this is where it gets a little wishy washy in the gaming
Okay.
industry. So Valve, made famous by Half Life
Yes.
and then Portal
Yep.
and Left 4 Dead, well, kinda.
Yes.
Um, the game that's coming out first time in I think 11 years. Half Life Alex is coming out. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I have heard some whispers of it.
Half Life
I know of it.
Alex is the first VR exclusive Steam game, and it's first game that originally it has released in like 13 years, I think. And damn, I'm kind of depressed because I don't have a VR headset, and I know many
Yeah.
people or no one on consoles will experience this.
Yeah.
And there's like a survey. It's at around 34% of PC gamers actually have a VR headset. I feel
Yeah.
like there's a bit of a loss here by doing specifically only VR, and I think this will really lower the hype for the game. And I'm really hyped for it because I'm just gonna have to watch a Let's Play, and I'm sad I'm not gonna be able to play it, but it's something Steam wants to do, and if Steam does really well on it, like there's a lot of pressure. Like they have not come out with a good game in a long time, so I don't know. I just wanted to get your thoughts on what do you think? What do you think a specific VR game will have on the consumers for?
Yeah. So I think it's really interesting because so so it's VR exclusive, which means it's only VR.
Yep, you can't even play it on a computer.
Okay. Um, for like like a content creator on YouTube, I feel like this game will make you bank. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, this would be a
Because
good cash grab for
no
sure.
one's no one's gonna be able to make videos on it because, like you said, only or not make videos on it, but like no one's gonna be able to play it themselves because only 34% of people on PC even have a VR headset. Not to mention, it's not even coming out to console at all. Um, I don't know, dude. I'm kind of torn about it because you know how much? Do you know how much money it is?
I
Like
want to
how
say
what does it cost?
it's probably $60.
60?
Yeah.
Dude, because I don't know. I personally, I would never spend $60 on a VR game. If I had a VR headset, I would not spend $60 on a VR game.
Well, this is
I
this is like the first title that we're gonna see. I wouldn't say called Triple A because it's Valve. Okay,
Yeah,
Valve is the one titan that hasn't let up on good games forever. They've had probably two flops their entire like gaming developing career, and they really haven't had to do much with having the largest owning the largest platform for video games. Period.
yeah.
It's nothing else compares to it, and I'm excited to see how high quality this will be. VR is a really new landscape for developers, and maybe we'll see something really good. Maybe it'll be underwhelming, and we might second guess Valve as we have to Bethesda over the past few years. So
Oh god, dude, Bethesda. Yikes.
that's what I'm saying. I really hope I hope it's the first step in the door of really really good VR games, but I have my doubts because I haven't seen a high quality VR game yet. Like I've seen the Rick and Morty one's not bad, but I
Mm.
haven't. I mean, clearly I haven't played it. I don't have
Yeah,
the
I've
space. I
yeah,
don't have the
exactly.
time. I don't have the money for a VR headset. So, I I can't even have 100% judgment on it. And again, it's like a new odyssey for video game developers, and hopefully Valve. They've been working on this game for a really long time. Hopefully they can not only cash in on this, but create a game that other developers can look forward to make their own games better, which may actually get more VR headsets sold.
I,
But
dude, I think another part of VR headsets that I don't know is talked about a whole lot, dude. Oh, okay, so if you think about the target demographic of like I'm gonna say gamers, right? I would say your sweet spot for age I would say on PC it's a little older. I don't know if there's a lot of young kids that have PCs that can run good games. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like usually, when I was like 10 and I wanted to play games, my mom and dad bought me like a PlayStation because they'll drop $300-$400 on a console, but they're not going to spend $1,000 for a really good PC that can run things.
Yeah.
Um, so if you think about like ages 18 to like 27, you think is like a reasonable
I would maybe lower it
age?
to maybe like 16 because I feel like
Okay. Well,
16-year-olds are
okay.
starting to get their money
Yeah.
and they
Well,
might
okay. We'll go
actually
to 16.
they
So
might
16 to
transfer.
27
Yeah.
or 16, 26. We'll make it 10 years.
Yeah, easy 10.
All right. So if you think about what's happening during that, right? As college students, I have no money, or I have money, but I can't be spending it because technically the money that I do have is going to end up going to the university.
Uh-huh.
Um, I live at my parents' house when I'm not at school, and at school, where the fuck am I going to use a VR headset?
Right. Dorm's
I
not
mean,
big enough.
I can stand in the middle of my room and lean, like keep my feet planted and lean left and right, and I can touch the walls of my room. And I like if we fast forward, okay, we just graduated college, we got college loans we got to pay off, and even if they're already paid off, we got to find a job. You're probably not going to have a house for the first couple of years you're out and about in the real world, right? So you're living in an apartment. Where the fuck are you going to find a room to have a VR headset, or let alone the money to have a VR headset? You know what I'm saying?
No, I totally agree. I
Like,
I see
it's
that.
not, yeah, it's not economically possible. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but it makes no sense for a 16 to 26-year-old to buy a VR headset. There's just no reasonable reason to buy it. You know what I mean?
There may be it might be. Here's an interesting thought I was thinking of when you said your demographic, like like a good decade, and there's a lot
Yeah.
of life changes going on for whoever is
Yeah.
going
Oh
out of high
yeah.
school, whether it
Huh.
be going straight into a workforce like our other friend Tyler,
Yep.
or like us in college. I would say this could be a callback to earlier gamers who are able to play Half-Life and Half-Life 2 and say, I remember playing this, and they're gonna be 28, 29 by now.
Yeah.
And even if they enjoyed those games, they might buy a VR just to play this game. So I could see that. I could see that angle of how they're gonna sell to those kind of customers. But they do have a lot of good flashy graphics. I saw on their play trailer, and I don't know. I definitely agree. It's gonna be really hard to target the demographic of what I would say normal Steam users are
Yeah.
today. But again, they could also be selling to an older audience that is new to VR but knows Half-Life. So I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, and another thing, like if you think about the age that you start getting a house, right? You get a house, you're a little older, might be in your 30s at this point, and you have the room to have a VR. I think if companies like Valve, even the big dogs, Bethesda, Ubisoft, um, Treyarch can um like make games that would interest an older audience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like obviously we don't even have a VR, so it's almost like if someone that doesn't have a PC, should they be really voting on issues that a PC user faces? That makes no sense, right? They've never experienced it. So, like, I don't know. I think I'm just thinking out loud that, like, those are the people that can own a VR. So maybe, like, I think in the future we might see games that are targeted towards maybe an older audience that's able to have the money and the space to like own a VR headset.
I could totally see that. Yeah.
But that was very interesting. Very interesting point that you brought up.